have the expressive interest of a guitar, the harmonic stuff of a piano, and a wide range, and also the guitar, you have all this electronics. So you have the best of both worlds. And I don't have it here too, but you can also make it sound like MIDI instruments. I'll have a little bit. MIDI is like a synthesizer. So we'll give you a little bit of a sound like this. There's nothing it can't do.
Being your own band.
I am my own band. Yeah, so actually when I go to work, I ask for double pay. At the rate we get paid, it doesn't matter.
What's the function of
this? Yeah. That's the pickup. That actually makes the sound. So that pickup is like a microphone. So basically if you hit a string, if I turn it off, mute this, turn this off, this is what you get. No. Okay. You need a body for that. That's why when you have a guitar or a violin, the body, or your voice, the body produces the sound. So if you do this, this is great from 3 o'clock in the morning, I can do this. It doesn't bother anybody.
I can play that.
Yes, you can. Absolutely. There's one instrument in the world, one Chapman stick that actually has a body to it. You know what it would be called? This is called a stick, that one's called an acoustic. There's only one. It's in California right now. It's two different ones.
Why hasn't this replaced the other instruments that we still see around?
In my house it has, actually. Depends on where you are. First of all, he only makes $400 or $500 a year. Entry level is about $2,000. So if you have a 13-year-old nephew, unless you want to buy him one, it's not an entry-level instrument. So most people who come to this instrument come from another instrument. And you also have to be willing to almost give up your other instrument. I played guitar for 15 years fairly proficiently. I played with Joe Pass and Tel Farlow and a bunch of major jazz guys. And I found this, and my guitar just went out the window. So if you're a decent musician and you get this, you can't do it. I mean, you can do it part-time, but it's so addicting that eventually you don't play your other instrument. And there aren't enough around. There's 5,000 in the whole world. And that's in 38 years.
Any music that you look at is regular?
Yeah. Well, I just played a pop song, Moon Dance. You know, this is a very popular song. You know, I have a jazz background, so I play some jazz songs. You've heard these on some rock songs too, but you just don't know it because of the background. Most people play it as a bass. They don't play the guitar part as much. The other side. It's more as a bass. It's on. Does anybody know what Peter Gabriel is? It's on Peter Gabriel records. It's on one Pink Floyd record. It's on a lot of King Crimson records. It happens to be the same guy who's doing all of this recording. It's not me. Unfortunately. So it's out there, but that's a good question. He's made about 400 a year. He's actually going to make a new one now that's made out of aluminum. He hopes to mass produce it. Mr. Chapman is 76 years old. So they got to figure out what's going to happen. It's actually going to be, there's a museum in Phoenix called the Museum of, what is it called? Museum of Musical Instrument Museum, MIM. And they have every instrument in the world except for this. And I was there last June. I actually gave a little thing like this, and they're going to put it in there. And me and Mr. Chapman, we go down there and have like an installation for this thing. So it's a start like the Moog synthesizer, and the first Les Paul guitars. Well, not the first one, but one of the early Les Paul guitars. And they have all kinds of instruments. So this will be in there. We just don't want it to be just a historical instrument. We want it to be part of the culture. So, it doesn't have to be nice. I just play it.
You actually have to start with the guitar first.
Nope. It's always easier because if you have another background, you understand music, number one, and you have the dexterity. So I was a guitar player, so my fingers already worked. But if you have, just pick this up and you go like this with one note, one finger here, and one finger here. Sounds like a lot with just two fingers. That's all. You don't need much. And if you change the sound, it sounds nice. That's with one finger in each hand.
He's a genius.
The instrument, it looks very complicated. It's actually quite simple. So if anybody wants to make an order, let me know.
I don't know, with so few out there, and you said the prices were not exorbitant, did you end up getting wealthy, or did you just love it this thing?
To find this.
Mr. Chapman, did you end up getting wealthy, or?
No, he's not wealthy.
Loving the whole project?
That's what I thought you said welfare, that's why. He doesn't make a lot of money because the wood is expensive. He's got labor, he's got 6 people in the shop making it, so he hardly makes any money off it. He's addicted to it. This one is Purple Heart. I'll show you how it goes on too. In the sun, this is actually purple. This is signed, I don't know if anybody knows Alan Holdsworth. Signed by him, and the other signature is actually Les Paul. I played with Les Paul.
Does he have any patents on this?
1,000 patents. Here's a patent. See this thing here? This goes in here. This goes over here. So just putting it on is a patent. Now my hands are free. And it's at this angle so my hands are not twisted up.
So nobody else can make money off this thing?
Well, there are variations of it, but they're not as nice as this instrument. I play variations. On a guitar also, the back is round.
Yeah.
This is all flat. Makes it easier to handle. So he's thought of a lot of things. There's certain construction things in this that just make it easier to play. So there are other instruments, and you can actually do this on the guitar, a little bit. Does anybody know who Stanley Jordan is? Okay, Stanley does this on the guitar. But again, because 6 strings is not enough, he plays 2 guitars. And you've probably seen him on, first time I actually did this technique, I saw him on The Tonight Show in 1983. And he just overwhelmed the country. He was on every show constantly. He actually lives in Arizona now. And I'm going to see him in about a month. We've done a couple of shows together. But he did it on the guitar, that tapping thing. So that was very cool. And but this instrument was designed to do that. The guitar you can adapt. This technique is called tapping. So guitar players usually hit a note, and then it's called a